to another episode of Alpine Garage Sports. Folks, my name is Chris and I am your host for this show. And we are talking about CU football. And specifically, when you watch the videos that are coming from social media at the University of Colorado, you're noticing a lot of people wearing these Catapult jerseys while they're working out or whether they're in the field house. And you may be asking yourself, what are those? Why are they wearing that? Well, that is a Catapult jersey that they're wearing. The company Catapult actually makes wearable GPS tracking devices that are specifically used in sports performance. Now these units, there's a pod actually, it's a small, it looks like a little key fob that goes in the back of the jersey that can be removed, and it actually will sync up with your phone, and it'll also sync up with team's equipment in order to communicate performance characteristics of that particular player. In this particular case, it looks like the team is using it. So although the players can probably retrieve the data, it looks like the team is actually collecting data from all of the players while they're out there training, retrieving that data about their performance and using that in key decision making when it comes to training. So what does it measure? Because it's a GPS trackable device, it measures basically distance and speed, essentially is what it does. But it also will draw characteristics. It's got sensors in it that will draw characteristics from inertia as well. So breakout speed, big movements, things like that, it will actually capture those and send that data as well. So you're talking about sprinting speed, sprinting distance, total distance and speed, average distance and speed, power plays, a load of other metrics it will send it'll show the coaching staff and the training staff how these individual team members are operating. And they're using that data to optimize performance. Obviously, they can also use it to try to keep these athletes from getting themselves hurt and learn a lot about the capacity of each individual player. Once you know what the capacity and the potential are, you can derive plans on how to best develop that performance. And I think probably one of the biggest factors in this is that to the naked eye, you can see someone, for instance, let's say wind sprints, you can watch them run several times in a row. But unless you clock it somehow, you're not really able to determine whether or not that performance is going up or down. And over time, it makes it even harder unless you're literally timing it or something. When you're doing it against other players, you're literally just looking and seeing who is the fastest player in these wind sprints. But when you add this data to it, you can see each individual athlete's performance over a long period of time and whether it is rising or falling, and what the indicators might be that might be causing both. If they're increasing in their capacity, what are we doing that is allowing them to do that? Is it nutrition? Is it the training regimen? Is it sleep patterns? What is causing this? And if they're decreasing, we can do the same thing. We can try to extrapolate what is causing that, but it starts with the data. It starts with wearing these vests in this particular instance and getting the data from that. It can also improve a team's strategy as well, because if you know how these different players operate, especially when they're at their capacity, then you can make better decisions on the field as to where you need to be putting these players. And these systems can also be used with video as well. So you can actually link them up with video so that when you're analyzing the data, the video corresponds with the data. So you can physically see what the athletes are doing and you can see the data down below. Using those two tools together can drastically change the way that you're developing players. I don't know if we're using the video end of it at Colorado, but I wouldn't be surprised. And universities have really started integrating this into their coaching staff as well. So this data comes out, and it's a lot of data from a lot of different players, and it takes specialized people to be able to take that data, extrapolate that down into plans in order to develop players. This kind of falls under the purview of like the sports medicine, strength and training areas of the coaching staff, and can be another really crucial leg in creating separation from your team versus some other team out there. So I thought you guys might find this interesting. If you didn't already know what was happening with these vests that they're wearing, now you know. And we'll see how this works out for the University of Colorado. So that is a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports. I sure appreciate you guys joining me. This is a lot of fun, and your comments down below are awesome, and I appreciate that. I will answer every single comment. And give me your thoughts on this Catapult system and kind of areas that the coaches might be able to use to develop our players a little bit better. And we'll see you in the next video. And if you haven't already heard, we coming.